Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different, and if you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do if it doesn't resonate with you. If you're forcing the stories to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. Happy 4th of July, everyone, if you're here in the US, and I hope you guys have a safe holiday. Let's see. Okay, so if you're interested in meditations, subliminals, overnight affirmations, there is a new channel. That channel is linked in the description box. I'll be plugging that channel for a while. And there was a self-love overnight affirmation that posted last night. So if you're interested in that, definitely check it out. The channel will be more geared towards things like audio rituals and enhancing psychic abilities and spiritual abilities. But I will also have other things that are very important for the healing journey, such as self-love. So let's go ahead and let's begin. All right. Taking a step aside. And allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay, right. So I'm being drawn to like scry the surface of this to just kind of do like let's see. There's definitely a transformative energy taking place right now. Lots of ideas, lots of like thinking and inspirations. Whoever this collective is, you've been on a very radical journey. This doesn't feel like a journey that is one that is cookie cutter. It's not one that you hear about a lot. There's been a lot of things that have happened to whoever this collective is, and there's something very deep that we're dealing with right now. I'm feeling my sacral chakra as I'm saying that. And so there's something within childhood, within creativity, within sex, within our primal roots that is starting to transform in some way. For some of you, this is going to be a break in self-protection, the way that we self-protect. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you can see inside of this right here, there's like a break. And I'm even hearing the dog barking right now, so there may be some way that we fight for ourselves, we stand up for ourselves, we lash out, something like that. There's something reactionary, and I don't know that we always identify it as reactionary. Sometimes we may feel, well, this is what I'm supposed to do now, right? This is what a healthy person would do. I just heard sound the alarm. This is kind of reminding me of yesterday's message a little bit. So I've definitely been reading about a particular storyline for the last, I want to say 3 days, or 3 videos. Okay, and then one of the things is that we're not able to see everything very clearly, and that may be something that we know. Whoever this message is for, there's a lot of crystallized patterns that have taken place inside of our life, and this is true for everybody. But there's something in there. There's something lodged deep down inside, right there, and it's some sort of protective mechanism. And I'm even trying to like break it open, which is obviously not going to happen. We may be trying to crack the code on that, some sort of protective mechanism that we have right now. Okay, I'm being drawn to this, it's kind of like a little copper, like rust inclusion or something, like maybe a little bit of iron in there, maybe clay, I don't know that much about this type of mineral. There's a stain, that's how it feels, there's a stain in some way. It's like a stain that we can't see, it's on the back end of what we keep looking at. It's bringing me to the color red. This is within our roots, our stability, our security, our safety. Okay. We'll save that for more inspiration. As I'm looking in the crystal ball, I saw a door close. Either a door has recently closed that is bringing this issue up, or we're about to close the door on this issue. I'm seeing stairs. I'm seeing 3. I'm seeing 3 steps. Are leading upwards, or are they leading down? Ooh, okay. There may be 3 significant events tying to whatever this is representing in your life. Not to say that it hasn't happened more, there's just 3 significant events. And these significant events are basically coloring our perception. The reason why I'm saying that is because the window behind me just stood out really strongly here. And not this window for some reason, but the window behind me, even though this one's brighter, the window behind me stood out more strongly, and there's a lace curtain over it. So there's a pattern. I'm seeing a pattern in my perception. Is the pattern actually there, or is the pattern inside of me? So this is this again, that brings up yesterday's message. So if you are resonating with this, or you find this reading resonates for you, definitely check out yesterday's message. It'll be linked at the end of this video. Okay, I want to come over here. Woo. I also know that some people are complaining about the background white noise. That is the air conditioner. It's summer, it kicks on. I know that it's loud, but that's inside this entire building, so I can't really do anything about that. Okay, we have to be fair. This is wow, this is so much like yesterday's reading. Okay, let's see how this changes today. We have to be fair, and this is scales. This is what showed up in yesterday's reading. And if you look, she's balancing this cookie, fortune cookie, which in this deck has a little paper in it that says "not for you," and then she's also balancing this egg, which is potential. Someone may be trying to weigh their options and exercise wisdom. Is this situation for me? Is it not for me? Which one wins, right? And we may find that we're in that energy a lot inside of our lives. We may think that that's because of something that it actually isn't, right? Man, this is difficult. How do I navigate this one? All right. Okay. I can't speak specifics here, so I'm not going to worry about navigating that because I'm not speaking specifics. I'm being told to keep it open because when people are ready, they'll understand. So here what we have is we have community. This is interpersonal. So whatever the situation is, even if it's happening between you and one person, it's actually an interpersonal situation. We have the number 8. It's something that our experiences with individuals manifested, and quite possibly something from very early years. Because if you look, it's a little baby giraffe with its mom, and there are leaves that are falling. So there may have been some sort of disappointments, some sort of endings that really disrupted things within our, I heard ability to cope, our ability to cope. I find it interesting too that not all these cars have these prayer flags, but these have them, right? This is directly tied to something that we've been trying to manifest for ourselves. One of the things that I do see happening here is there's conflicts inside of our thought. I have 4-4 and then I have the thinker. So there's conflicts between our thoughts and our emotions, right? I want this, but then I'm thinking and knowing this. And though I want this thing, I feel either disappointed, extremely hurt by it. You know, there's these conflictual things that are taking place here. In this space, but there's these prayer flags, which is representing for me that there's something higher going on here. There's not just what we're trying to manifest, but this is a life lesson for somebody. Whatever this cycle is, it's a life lesson. If we go about trying to change a cycle and it never changes, we have to stop and ask ourselves, are we changing the right thing? Right? Oftentimes what we keep trying to change is we keep trying to control the external, and what really is trying to change is something inside of ourselves. So, and sometimes not in the trajectory that we think that we're supposed to go. So, let's see. Oh, I just heard it this way. Rather than not in the trajectory you're supposed to go, one of the things they want me to say is sometimes we're focused on the wrong thing inside of us. So if you notice she's sitting on this small box, she would be able to see a lot more if she sat on this box. There's something in the background. There's something in the background. Okay. we have the 8 of materials. So we have number 8 showing up in 3 of the 4 cards. The card that it doesn't show up in, it adds up to an 8. So this is all about our reality that we're manifesting. The power of our mind, right? Uranus moves into Gemini on the 7th, and that's going to have a lot to do with the power of our mind. Here what we see is we see that mental space unfolding, and she's juggling all these different roses, all these different storylines that have unfolded, all these different realizations that have unfolded, all these different ways that we've learned to navigate situations unfolding. Which one's the right way? Which one have I not seen, right? She can't see the rose that's on the back of her head. That's the one that she can't see. There's something inside of her mind that's taking place here with the thinker and with the 8 of materials that may be the answer that we can't actually see. She needs a mirror to see it. Here what we have is we have the Magician. This is all about when that rose unfolds, when we see the thing, when we allow a mirror to show us the thing, right? What we have is we have all of this energy that has been bottled up by that rose, by that closed flower, now coming up and entering this sort of field, right? This unified field, interacting with it, coloring it, controlling it in certain ways, right? Being controlled by it in certain ways. This influx of non-duality, right? This dance that permeates all of existence is taking place, which makes this individual the Magician. Again, number 8 showing up everywhere. This is about manifestation. This is about the reality that we're creating for ourselves, right? Whoever this message is for, you're ready to step into this. The altar is on the eyes of perception. We have 5 of inspiration coming up. This is the 5 of swords. This is conflict, right? Again, 4-4 conflict. We have 2 energies standing out very strongly. The manifestation and conflict. How do we manifest conflict, right? Again, we have the whole theme of the mirror coming up. And it's like every time we face a mirror, we do something and we feel that we're getting higher and higher, but we're still, the mirror never changes. We never reach a place where there's no mirror. This is the interesting thing. There's a cycle that keeps repeating, and we think that we're elevating, we think that we're changing something, but the mirror keeps showing up. And this is how we know that we're facing maybe the demon that isn't the one that's trying to hurt us, right? We might be facing the wrong thing. So, and this came out in yesterday's message as well. I do think some of you, you may have spent some time self-reflecting about that Pluto energy, right? And allowing yourself to see that, oh, it might be this other thing, because this is the prominent energy coming up today. This rose that's unfolding, we can't necessarily see it, but we're starting to understand that the mirror serves a purpose, right? And this energy is being stepped into, this Magician energy. The altar is on the eyes of perception. The altar is in the eyes of perception. Okay. Okay. And then we have the 7 of materials. This kind of gives me the feeling of the proof is in the pudding, right? We may be having these moments where we experience more and more that as we face whatever this thing is that we didn't think that we were supposed to face, we'll see with time how that goes, right? We'll see with time how that goes. This is a new beginning. It's a new trajectory for somebody. Ace of Materials is on the bottom. That's the Ace of Pentacles. And this is a new tangible change. This is new tangible direction. What is it that we are offering? What is it that we're actually taking outside of ourselves and offering to the situation in order for the situation to change? That doesn't mean you have to give more. Sometimes it means you just have to allow, right? There's a heavy emphasis in spiritual evolution on surrender. And surrender isn't always understood, right? And surrender is one of those things that the concept of it is actually a mystery, right? It's one of those things that is not well understood until a person comes to a place where they're on the threshold of that surrender. It's kind of like understanding love when you've never actually felt it, right? You can't do that. Or understanding love and how to, express it and how to give it and how to share it when you don't have it for yourself. It's not something that can be experienced yet. Or standing on the gates of a mystical experience. Try explaining a mystical experience to a person who's never had one. It's impossible. And this is kind of how this concept of surrender is, right? In some ways, surrender can sound quite toxic. It can sound like staying in places where you really shouldn't be. And for a highly evolved person, or somebody that's healed, or somebody who has a lot of self-efficacy and agency, it's something that's liberating. So, based on where a person is at, the idea of surrender can be a hindrance, and it can be something that really fast tracks them to creating a life that they want. It just depends where on that timeline someone falls. So I feel that, obviously there's a lot of people that watch these videos. Some of you may not be ready for that type of surrender, and some of you absolutely are. So there's discernment that has to be used, right? Some of you may use that idea of surrender to stay in a situation that's toxic, right? Without having the agency to understand how to control yourself and navigate that space. And that's not to say that there's something wrong with you. It's just that it takes a lot of healing to be able to do that, right? And you don't want to go getting yourself hurt in a situation you didn't need to be in other words. And one of the things that we see inside of these cards, I'm seeing a lot of like ribbons. It's like ribbons or lines. Are the situations inside of our life our prison, or are the situations inside of our life our music bars, right? Are they the notes that sound is played through? Like, is it the way that we interpret and perceive sound? There's vibrational elements to this. When we talk about the things outside of our life that we want to change, there's a lot of internal work that has to be done, because not everything is based off perception. Some things really are the way that they are. But if you're in the magician energy, it doesn't mean that they can't be changed through your perception. And that's kind of the catch-22 of everything. If you're again, for people who haven't gotten to that space, they won't understand that, right? Or for some people, they will understand it, but it'll be an idea. It'll be a nice idea that's kind of far off. This is complicated energy, and the reason why it's complicated energy is because the question that's being asked here is, are you ready, right? Have you gone through the healing and the journey and the alchemy to get to the place where now you can step into the magician? Or are you still in a place where by trying to step into the magician role, what you're doing is you're creating your own prison? Will you construct the music and the sound, or will the music and the sound become your prison, right? Okay, let's go ahead and let's pull one card from this. The uncreated. Okay. We'll hold this. The unconceived, the seed of the seed. There was a time when everyone you know was not yet born, when every city was yet to be named, when your favorite song was yet to be sung. Such is the energy of increatum. This card indicates the subtle but profound force that summons all that will be into existence. This most sacred of formulas cannot be manufactured, contained, bought, or sold. It is the pure intelligence of creation, pulsing at the door of reality. Its timing is precise, and it is happening now. Do not delay. Send an invitation to the uncreated. Allow it to formulate and gestate. Soon a sketch, a map, or a name will draw itself upon your mind. Envision and believe. The architect of the future is within you. All ground is fertile. Life begets life. To ponder, the building you reside in was once an idea. So this kind of goes back to a conversation that Ice Guy with Steph and I had. And we were talking about the shadow of the shadow, right? And she was talking in reference to things that are even deeper than just the things that we experience inside of our shadow. And that came about because of our conversation about Pluto and the Bardo and these really deep unconscious spaces. Someone here, this is going back to some sort of program that we are at the mercy of right now. But whoever this message is truly for, you're ready to not be at the mercy of that anymore. This is the seed of the seed, right? And remember that your altar is on the eyes of your perception. Is the very thing that you're trying to manifest and construct for yourself your prison? Maybe that's, a safe and stable workplace. Maybe that is love that's easy. Maybe that is, all these things that we have these ideas as people that this is the way that we have to do it, right? Again, this is where it gets into, for some people who aren't ready, this can be a very damaging sort of idea, right? But for those of you who are ready, this can be a liberating idea. There's transcendence afoot. Okay. Okay. It's funny. We have two things here that look like candles to me. So we have the peace angel, right? And then we have guidance. So for some of you, it's important to reach out for higher guidance at this time, right? There seems to be something to remember in terms of a higher mind, of a bigger perspective, in order to break out of the matrix of whatever it is that is that last little bit that we need in order to step into this magician energy. Is it that we ourselves need to have more peace, right? Is there this mechanism of fire that kicks in at a certain point? And how do we allow this internal fire, rather than working against us, how do we allow that to build the steps to light the way for others, right? We have all the colors of the rainbow present inside this card. This is where all the aspects of ourself are trying to merge and unify and join all the lessons that we've learned along the spiritual and healing journey, all the lessons that we've learned about ourselves. How do we take all those, put those together, and then change them and make a new thing, right? Oftentimes that involves going back the way that we came into the various situations that we were trying to avoid. And that is not going to be everybody's path, right? That's not everybody's path. For some of us it is, especially for those of us that are healers. There's this very old kind of like mystery about the healing journey. And this is very deep, esoteric, sort of like a little anecdote about it. Not even an anecdote, I don't even know what to call it. And it's that the healer spends their whole life running from the exact same thing that once they reach the end of the journey, they'll turn around and they'll face. So that's just a little side note for some of you. The discernment part comes in with understanding whether or not you're ready for that. So I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to be honest, like this is a very... it's like a heavy energy, but it's not a heavy energy because there's anything wrong. It's a heavy energy because of the depth to which someone is exploring, right? And I think that's amazing. No wonder I picked up this stone. Yesterday's reading is very similar. It's almost like this is piggybacking off of yesterday's reading. And in that reading, Bast came through with a message about protection. So, for some of you working with like... any kind of grounding stone or any kind of protective elements that you use might be good right now, right? It might help you really center and come in. I'm thinking of the card in the Alchemy Guidebook, which is lead. Lead brings a sobering quality to situations. It grounds it, right? It's Saturn. Some of you, you may find that might help you at this time, is really grounding, because the amount of ideas and intuitions and inspirations and lessons and things that we've seen that are just kind of floating out around us really need to be grounded down, because there's something else that we have to see. There's something else we have to see. Again, it takes the mirror to do it. So whoever's message this is, if this resonates for you, please hit that like button. Feel free to leave me a comment, and until next time.